الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. It's again an honor and a privilege today to have Shaykh Mohammed Allie Khalfe here today to address us. He's just come back from an extensive trip of a couple of countries, 4 countries to be exact, and part of his khutbah is quite exciting, and I'll leave it up to Shaykh Mohammed Allie to explain everything, inshallah. Thank you. We thank him for coming. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Rahmatullah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa barik wa sallim. Allahumma la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. There's 2 types of fards. There's an outward fard and an inward fard. Something is either internally fard or externally fard. The external fards are like our salah, zakah, hajj, fasting, and so forth and so on. I think what we sometimes fail to recognize and to bring to light is what is internally fard. We become so obsessed with the external fard, we forget that there are internal fard. We are told in the Quran, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَشَدُّ حُبًّا لِلَّهِ. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, those who have faith, أَشَدُّ حُبًّا لِلَّهِ. They have an intense love for Allah. This love for Allah is fard, and not fard kifaya, where a few can do it and the rest are free from the obligation. But it's a personal obligation for me and you to love Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's not an option. The foundation of faith is love. When Islam spread and the Muslims made the hijrah to Medina al-Munawwarah, which was first known as Yathrib, it was a place of deserted, almost disease was there. But it became the enlightened city after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam entered it. It became Munawwar, full of nur. And they started to send envoys from around Arabia, from the Romans, Persians. And on an occasion when they entered, they wanted to see this man who is changing people and converting people and breaking up families. And 2 envoys who came entered Medina and found the place deserted, except for one man who carried arrows. And he asked the man, and they asked him, where is this prophet and his people? And the response was, the entire city is following him in prayer. Even those who have not embraced his deen, they are at least standing around him. So it was silent when they got there. And he asked the man, why were you not praying with him? He said, I'm a Jew, so I'm not praying with him. And then he asked him, what are you doing? He says, I'm sheathing arrows and preparing arrows. And they asked him, why are you preparing arrows and for whom are these arrows? And he said, I'm preparing the arrows for Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he asked him, are you a Jew? I'm preparing these weapons for you. And the response was, I would prepare 1,000 of these arrows just to see one smile on his face again. That is love. And love breaks every barrier. It's beyond time and space and place. I've been invited here today to present for the first time in South Africa, in a mosque in fact, a game I've developed. Alhamdulillah, Allah has allowed me through His will, through His rahmah, I have developed a game which is called the Islamic Text Trivia Game, which I'll demonstrate to you today, what it's about and the power of this game. Before I even do that, do you know that Muslims invented chess? And that the 2 words checkmate is Persian and Arabic. Check is Shah, king, Persian. Mate is mayat, death. So you knock the king over and he dies. They developed so many things. It was a strategy game which the Muslims developed. This creativity we have lost sight of. If I had a glass of water half full here, half a glass of water, and I asked you, what do you see? Some would say it's half empty, some would say it's half full. Some would say, well, what's in there is what gives life. Others would see that glass of water as something coming from the heavens. They might even see heaven touching earth in that water. That's the different perceptions you can have of one thing. What I will do for the next few moments, till about 15 or 20 minutes, it was not gambling cards. It's I will demonstrate you what it's about and what we have been doing with this cards. I sat for about 6 months with this game, and it's based on love, mercy, tolerance. Let me first explain it to you. There are 250 cards in this box. There are 10 categories: fiqh, history, tawheed, Arabic, Quran, spirituality. Each card contains a question. Each question has 4 possible answers. If you answer a question correct, you get 2 rewards. The thawab is double, which is based on the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, if you get 20 thawab, then the first gate of Jannah opens. So I've got Jannah cards, 7 levels of heaven. So you need to unlock the gates of paradise through the gate. If you get 40 rewards, you get to the second level, Al-Ma'wa, Al-Khuld, Al-Na'im. But the goal is to get to this card here, which is Jannatul Firdaus, the 7th level of heaven. Along the journey to paradise, a card may direct you to Egypt. And if a card says go to Egypt, you have to stay with that deck of cards until you are released from Egypt to travel back on your journey to paradise, or it will give you an option to go to Makkah. And in Makkah you need to answer questions pertaining to Meccan history, who built the Kaaba and so forth and so on. We've tested and tried this at the Madrasahs, at our Madrasah for 2 years now. And we have found the children so excited to come back to Madrasah. They want an extra day at Madrasah because they are learning their deen in the most enjoyable way. We have to foreground and start focusing on this internally foreign ideas that if a child loves Madrasah, we have taken a leap forward. It cannot be that you're going to Bacha and get a hiding when you go home anymore. Because children are stressed out, they've got 6 or 7 subjects at school, they go home, they hardly have time to dress and eat, and they rush back there. And you either make them love the deen or you make them dislike it. So what I'll do, I will show you the potential of these cards for the next few moments. The first card I have here, the subject is Tawheed. Category is Tawheed. And the question is, how many letters are there in the word or the name Muhammad? The options are 4, 3, 5, and 6. I'm not going to tell you the answer. How many letters are there in the word Muhammad? The answer is in fact 4. Let me tell you, it's 4. There's 4 letters, Mim, Ha, Mim, and Dal. What's amazing is that Allah also has 4 letters. Alif, Lam, Lam, Alif, Lam, Lam, and Ha. 4 letters in Allah, 4 letters in Muhammad. What is even more fascinating is that if you remove the Alif from Allah, you still have Lillah. And if you remove the first Lam, you still have Lahu, to Him. And if you remove the second Lam, you still have Hu. And Allah refers to Himself as Allah in the Quran. Lillahi ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard. To Him belongs the heavens and the earth. Lahu mulkus samawati wal ard. To Him is the dominion. And Hu Allah. He is Allah. It's all there, no matter how you break the letters up. And what is amazing is that the name Muhammad, the letters, the 4 letters, Muhammad means praised one. In fact, it has 2 meanings. It means the one who praises Allah and the object of praise as well. It's a fa'il and a maf'ul. It's a doer of praise and an object of praise. But if you remove the mim from Muhammad, you still have Hamidah, and that is to praise. And if you remove the ha, you still have madda, which is to extend. And if you remove the mim, you still have dal, which is to indicate. The whole name is blessed, from the first letter to the last letter. That is the potential of a card, and how we can educate our children and our families just with a card and in the most enjoyable way. The second card I have here is also theology to read. And the question here is, name the angels recording our deeds. What are the angels recording our deeds? Munkar and Nakir, Raqib and Atid, Jibreel and Mikael, or Harut and Marut. So if you want to answer this correctly, you get 2 rewards and you're on your way closer to the first level of paradise. Is it Munkar and Nakir, or Raqib and Atid, or Jibreel and Mikael, or Harut and Marut? Does anyone want to answer? Number 2 is correct, so you have 2 rewards now. The thawab is done. But the truth is that although it's a game, in reality we are still getting rewarded because we are studying our deen. And on top of that, you are smiling, so you get rewarded for smiling. There's so much barakah in just a card and in the way we can disseminate knowledge and spread knowledge. So the children are playing this as part of the syllabus at our madrasah now. It's part of their curriculum to play this game with the teachers. They are enjoying it so much they cannot wait for the next class to come. And they are accumulating rewards throughout the year, and at the end of the year we intend to give one of them either their fees paid for the year or something. Raqib and Atid are the angels recording our deeds. So let me ask you another question. Which one is Raqib and which one is Atid? I specialize in Tawheed, by the way, so get the wrong answer, oh no, it's wrong. Which one is Raqib and which one is Atid? The one on the right, Raqib means the watcher, Atid is the scribe, the one writing. Okay, that is what is well known. But the mu'tamad, what we rely upon in our theology, is that the one on the right is Raqib and Atid. He's the watcher and the scribe. And the one on the left is Raqib and Atid as well. He's also a watcher and a scribe. So these are attributes of who they are. Every single angel on the right has the qualities of watcher and scribe, as well as the left. But the one on the right has a third name, is the Amir, he's in charge. And the one on the left is the servant of the Amir. The one on the right, his duty is that if the servant carries out a good deed, a hasana, his duty is to rush to record 10 to 700 rewards based on the niyyah that preceded that action. That is the hadith sahih. It's not a part of the hadith, it's the full hadith. The one on the left, his duty is to record a bad deed, but he cannot record it unless he asks permission for the one on the right. And every time he asks for permission, he's always told, no, you're not allowed to write anything. Give the servant 6 hours, and if he feels remorse, then record nothing. That is the blessings and the fadl and the grace of Allah upon us. So I've looked at 2 cards here. And you don't need to answer. You can, for yourself, judge if this is beneficial. Because as a community, we need to have ways to go forward, educate our families, our children, and at the same time, not lose sight of our tradition. The game is based on 5 books. Number 1 is Imam Ghazali's Ihya Ulumuddin, which is a 1,000-year-old, 40 books based on fiqh and spirituality and theology and you name it. Secondly, it's based on a book on spirituality and psychology, which is Ibn Ata'illah's Hikam, a 600-year-old poem of wisdoms. And thirdly, it's based on the relied upon opinions in the old fiqh texts. The next card I have here is Egypt, meaning that some card directed us to Egypt and we have to answer Egyptian history. The question here is, which Shafi'i scholar is buried next to Imam Ash-Shafi'i? Which Shafi'i scholar is buried next to Imam Ash-Shafi'i? Is it Ibn Hajar, Zakaria Ansari, Ibn Ata'illah, or Izzuddin Abdus Salam? I won't answer that, but that is the depth and the level of knowledge we can learn through a game. The scholar who is buried next to Imam Shafi'i, by the way, lived for over 120 years. He wrote on every single book you can think of. He's the only scholar in the history of the Shafi'i madhab who has the title Shaykhul Islam and Mawlana. On top of that, did you know that all the maqams where the scholars are buried in Cairo are round dome shaped? Except one. The place Imam Shafi'i is buried is a ship, and there's a ship over it. They placed a ship over it to indicate there is a bahar of ilm, an ocean of knowledge. It's carved in stone there in Cairo. The next card is general. And the question here is, how many rukus are there in the Fajr prayer? How many rukus are there in the Fajr prayer? 5, 6, 2 or 3? I won't answer the questions also. But there's a meaning behind everything. The old scholars would say Fajr has 2 rak'ahs. The first rak'ah is shukr for your body, and the second rak'ah is shukr for your ruh, for your soul. And these are the wisdoms or the meanings behind the forms which we sometimes forget and just rattle off rak'ahs. In Maghrib, the third rak'ah is shukr for your iman, for faith you have. In fact, they would say that when you stand in prayer, it must remind you of your youth. When you bow down in ruku, it should remind you of your middle age. And when you go into sujood, it should remind you that one day someone will have to lift to get up again. The entire prayer is therefore a dhikr of our Lord, how He created us and how we are traveling through this world to Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. The next question is the Quran, and most of these questions are taken from a 1,000-year-old text called the Itqan of Imam Maulana Jalaluddin As-Suyuti rahimahullah ta'ala. He wrote a book about 1,000 pages long. It's a book I teach on Sunday mornings. And in there he divides the Quran up into sections. Believe it or not, he's got a chapter called Day, and he tells you what verses were revealed in the day. A chapter called Night, a chapter called Winter, a chapter called Summer. And he tells you what verses came down when the sun was shining, what verses came down when water was falling. He's got a chapter called Ground, where the verses are revealed while the Prophet ﷺ was on the ground. He's got a chapter called Underground, where verses were revealed in a cave. He's got a chapter called Heaven, where verses were revealed in the Sana and the Mi'raj. He's got a chapter, he gets to a point where he divides the Quran into tribes, and he lists about 52 Arab tribes. And he says the Prophet ﷺ would speak every language of every tribe. And he says Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu was once sitting with the Prophet ﷺ. He followed him all around, and the Prophet could speak the dialect of the tribe better than they could speak it. And he couldn't even understand what the Prophet ﷺ was saying. So he lists which verses comes from which tribe. And he concludes that the Prophet ﷺ, the Quran was revealed to him by over 50 different languages, dialects. That is the mu'ajizah of it. In here, the card, it says what is Surah Sad also known as? Surah Sad. Is it known as Surah Musa, Surah Isa, Surah Dawood, or Surah Yunus? So here we learn that the surahs have more than one name. It's a chapter in the names of surahs. Some surahs are named Surah Musa, but we're not familiar with it. So we just use the one name which we have. Again, I won't give you the answer. This card here, it says special at the back, and it says travel to Makkah. So if you pick up this card in the game, you have to travel to Makkah, and you have to answer questions pertaining to Meccan history. The next card is general, and it says complete tahadith. Paradise lies at the feet of our fathers, sisters, mothers, or brothers. And I'm sure we're all aware of that. Paradise lies at the feet of our mothers. Often we're looking for a big wali to take us to paradise. It lies at the feet of your mother. Serve your mother, respect her, love her, be a servant to your mother, and that's your gateway to paradise. Often we think that the wali must have a big beard, a big top, a big tasbih, and we're looking all around, but our mothers are right in front of us. Next question says, who was Imam Shafi'i's teacher? Is it Imam Malik, Abu Hanifa, Abu Dawud, or Imam Ahmad? I'll give you the answer to this. The answer here is Imam Malik. He was the teacher of Imam Shafi. What is amazing here with this card is that Imam Shafi stayed with Imam Malik till he passed away in Medina. And every opinion Imam Malik gave, Imam Shafi differed with him. Every single opinion, therefore we have two madhabs. Imam Malik says dogs are pure, Imam Shafi says they are najis. Imam Malik stands like this in Salah, Imam Shafi stands like this. Imam Malik says shaking a woman's hand doesn't break your wudu, Imam Shafi says yes, it does break your wudu. Do you know what the amazing thing is? Every time they differed, they loved each other more. Throughout that difference of opinion, their love grew and grew and grew. We need to ask ourselves if we've gone away from the spirit to a point where you'll find the mosque in South Africa saying Hanafis only. Allah alone knows why. It's destroying the spirit of these four imams. After Imam Malik passed away, when Imam Malik's name was mentioned in the presence of Sayyidina Imam Shafi, he would say the brightest sky in the heavens has been mentioned amongst the ulama. When Imam Shafi was invited to Iraq to lead the prayer, he left out the qunut. And when they asked him why, he said it was Imam Abu Hanifa's buried here and would pray the way he prayed. There was no fanaticism, there was a respect. The very nature of this world is different. Our fingerprints are different. Our wives are females, they're not males, they're different. Our eyes are different, the way we think is different. Night and day, black and white, poor and rich, healthy and sickness. One complements the other. We think it's causing problems, but it perfects the world. If nothing was ever stolen from you, you would never learn sorry. And if nothing was taken from you in return, you would never know what shukr means. If there was no nighttime, you would never enjoy sunrise. If nothing was stolen from that person, you would never learn compassion and pity. Opposites complement each other. Until you embrace diversity and appreciate differences, can you not appreciate Allah's Tawheed properly? Because He is the only being who is one and perfect. Everything else will differ. Everything I mention here is in this game. It's part of how knowledge is disseminated. We need to revive this and put on a fresh set of lenses and figure out ways to empower our community. Alhamdulillah, I've come from about 4 or 5 countries, presenting the game in Cairo, in different places, on TVs, in newspapers, and we had to ask all our sheikhs, from Sidi Ali Jumuah to you name it, different tariqas, they looked at it. I even got to present the game to an 80-year-old woman who taught most of the sheikhs in Cairo today. And she did a PhD in prepositions. In and, in or, and in. Her PhD was done in that. And when she saw the game, she said, we need to translate this into Arabic because we need it here as well. The last card I will mention, it's a card that says Egypt. Which famous scholar is buried in the Humaythra, in Humaythra near the Red Sea? Which famous scholar is buried in Humaythra, which is in the Red Sea in Egypt, near the Red Sea? Is it Imam Ghazali? Is it Abu Hassan al-Shadhili? Is it Sayyid al-Jailani? Or is it Imam al-Akbar ibn Arabi? Again, I won't give you the answer, but these cards connect us to our history. Before I end off the khutbah, it is my honor and privilege to near this game to our beloved Imam and our Shaykh, Imam Sayyid Hassan Walili. And it's the first mosque I've given a talk and presented the game to in South Africa. We're going to a lot of places. I would like to give the game to our Shaykh, who has been leading us for years in communities right around the city. And I'm not boasting or anything, but I think because of his presence here, one can feel the blessedness of this mosque. This mosque is a Mubarak mosque. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. We are students before our seniors. Regardless of what knowledge we have, we will remain students in front of us. Check this game is for you.
Jazakumullah. Jazakumullah. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Just to end off, we launched the game a week ago. We had 500 games, 400 was gone in one day. The Sheikh phoned me and asked me, please come to our mosque today. I've only managed to bring 60 games with. The games are available. It's 200 rand per game. There's a book called Mind, Body and Soul that complements the game. I've only got 10 left. But inshallah, in a few months' time, when we're ready, we'll launch that book as well here. The game complements the book. So I make dua it was a beneficial few minutes here, and may it be beneficial to our communities. Sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa barik wa sallim. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We say Jazakumullah to Shaykh Mohammed Allie Khalfe, firstly for his pioneering work that he's been doing in the community. May Allah bless him, protect him, because this is what is lacking in our communities. What Shaykh Mohammed Allie Khalfe is doing is reviving what our pioneers in former centuries have been doing. So we should be very, very proud of what Shaykh Mohammed Allie Khalfe is doing in this part of the world, in a non-Islamic environment, if we can call it like that. So we need to give him the support. And We must stop playing games with the education of our children by feeding the Zionistic types of games and bamboozling their minds, rather by these kind of games, because this is their akhirah. And don't play games with their akhirah. You buy and you support Islamic text trivia and the work that Shaykh Mohammed Allie Khalfe is doing, because this is our akhirah. And look, we are grandparents now. So I've already told him, Jazakumullah for that, and I'm going to buy a few more so I can give it to my grandchildren. And I expect each and every one of you, otherwise I'll be haunting you. But again, Shaykh Mohammed Allie Khalfe, Jazakumullah for the inspirational work that you are doing, even in books and revising new books. You go onto you used to the websites and Facebook and all that. Islamic Text Society is operating in Sharia estate. Sharia estate. So inshallah, please there. And we thank the two parents, they're both here. Jamil, Ahmad Bhai, welcome, and thank you for everybody that's come along. The two doors at the back, it will be sold inshallah. Again, Jazakumullah for the effort.